Hello, my name is Ismar. Today I will be showing you how to make this object here in Tinker CAD. And so it's this yellow object right here. It has like this slit, and right here that takes up about 75% of the block, and this hole right here, the little cylinder object that goes right through it. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is launch up a web browser. Right here I have Google Chrome. You don't need to have Google Chrome, but it's just what I like to use. You're gonna search out Tinker CAD, because that's what we will be using, is Tinker CAD to be doing this. It's free to join, so you can either join your class if this is for class and you have a class code, or you could go to start tinkering. So start tinkering, you can also join a class from here, or if you're a teacher, go here, create your own account. If you create your own account, it will ask for personal information. We'll kind of just like your birthdays to make sure that you have good content getting out to you. So, but I already have an account, so once you sign in, you will see a page that looks like this. So, for this project, we're gonna go ahead and go to create new design. So that's just this blue button that's right here. Gonna go ahead and click that, and then we're brought to this page right here. This page is this blue square right here. This is your work plane. It's where everything's gonna sit on top of. It's where we're gonna be relating this to. It's gonna be this work plane right here. So different things before we get started on the exact project. Just to learn a little bit about Tinkercad, we have this up to the left right here. It's called your view cube. You could spin it around, go like that, just to see different parts like angles. Or right here, like you could click the right side, so you can see the right side of it. If we click this arrow, you can see the front side. So just different ways to move it. There's the isometric view, which is what we're in now, or we could switch to flat view, so you wouldn't really be able to see a lot of fun angles. We're gonna be sticking to isometric view for this one right here. To zoom in and out, you could use the zoom in features, or you could, if you have a mouse, just scroll in or scroll out. Another thing we're gonna need for this is to see over here on the right hand side, you can see that we have the work plane and ruler feature. We're going to be using the ruler feature, just not yet. We also have all of these fun shapes that we can use, but for right now I started what we're going to be using. So we're going to be using this box right here, the cylinder, this orange one, and then this round roof. So it's kind of odd, but this is what we're going to be using for this project. The first thing we're going to want to do, however, is you have your work plane here. You're going to go to edit grid here in the bottom right. So it's set into millimeters. You can leave it like that. Just whenever I refer to anything, like right here, if I say it's 200 by 200, I mean 200 millimeters by 200 millimeters. But for this, we want it to be bigger because our object is bigger than 200 millimeters. So we're going to do 750 millimeters by 750. So we're going to go update grid, and you see now the blue is taking up most of our screen. To be able to view the entire work plane, just scroll out, so zoom out, or you could use the zoom out feature. Either way works. And so now we have this work plane that we're going to be using. The second step to this is to make sure all your dimensions are lined up. You're going to need to hit the ruler feature right here. So now we can place this anywhere we want, but just know that wherever this is placed, that is where your main piece is going to be. So that's where your yellow part that you saw at the beginning is going to rest. So I like to place it here in the corner, like somewhere relatively close, just because it's easier, but wherever you place it, it'll do the same purpose for you, so it's fine wherever. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Anyway, the second part that we're going to need to do is see where our start off point's going to be. So if we go over here, we see that we have, what we basically have is a rectangular shaped prism that has a specific length, a specific width, and a specific height. So that's where we're going to start off here. So the first step is getting your box here. You could drag it onto the work plane, and there's a lot of dimensions that pop up with it. So if we zoom in so we could see it all closer, we have it that is 20 by 20 by 20 millimeters right now. So if we want to extend it, now it's 55 by 17 by 20. So now you know this one right here, this one on the left is the length of it. Here in front we have the width, and then this right here would determine the height. So for this, we want the length to be 700 millimeters, which is why we made the work plane 750 by 750. Here in front, we want the width to be 30 millimeters, and the height for this object is going to be a 45. So it's going to be your basic shape. In the original thing, it's yellow, so just for all intents and purposes, we're going to change this to yellow. You don't have to, you'll get the same shape. It's really just a color preference. So now we have the shape that we need. Now we have these other two measurements right here that are green. So these green ones determine how far away. So if I move it over here, you can see the length increased to 102, and this decreased to 25. So you can see it move. So what this determines is the relative point of this point right here to the origin of the ruler. As I said, it doesn't matter where it is because it will all be in relation to the ruler. So if I were to put over here, now it says negative 53. So we're gonna keep it all positive right now. So this right here determines how far away this point is to here in, I guess if we're looking at an XY plane in the X axis. So here we want it to just be touching the origin. So we're gonna modify it. If it allows, we're gonna modify it to be 0. Now we have to do the same for this, so it can be touching, and there we have what our first piece is gonna look like. This would be it. So this is the main piece. This is your part 1, and yeah, you made it this far.